fired up about something. You can't quit thinking about it. And throughout the day, you just these everything just overcomes you with excitement of, oh dear Lord, I'm at the right place at the right time with the right people. If you've ever been in that situation, you know what I'm going through, you know what I'm feeling right now, and that's where I'm at. If gas were 50 cents at the, Oak and Main Street, I'm going to tell everybody. Like, I can't help it. Hope you're the same way. I've got to tell everybody about this opportunity. And I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm not stopping. I know that not everybody will join, and I'm okay with that. In fact, this isn't for everybody. If you've ever been to a meeting where everyone said, anybody can do it, this is for everybody, that's a lie. If it were true, it would be like an $8 an hour job. This is not an $8 an hour job. This is way, way greater than that. And so I'm just blown away by what I have found. I know it was by the grace of God that I'm here, and I'll explain that here in just a moment. But just a very brief background about myself. I've built businesses, I've gone broke, I've joined championship teams. I know what it feels like to be on a championship team. I know what it's like to be on a team that's not a championship team. I have had houses foreclosed on. I've had cars repossessed. I've been at the bottom. I know what the bottom feels like. But the bottom doesn't mean anything when you have childlike faith that you can do anything. And if you get nothing out of what I'm going to share with you today, it's that. Whatever you decide to do, wherever your career takes you, and it's not just careers, it's relationships. Whatever relationship you get into, raising children, best friends, whatever it may be, take a childlike faith that it's going to be amazing and take nothing less. If you go into any situation with doubt and, constant beat down, it doesn't work. You have to have a childlike faith that everything around you will work out. And when you find something that you fall in love with, like I have here with We Partners and Daniel and Calvin and Colin, I'm telling you, wrap up childlike faith, believe that everything's going to work out, and you just move forward. Does everything work out? Absolutely not. In fact, I logged on to this meeting 15 minutes before. I loaded all my stuff up, and about 5 minutes ago, my cameras decided it was time to stop working. Not everything goes well, but when you have a childlike faith, you just don't care. When you have a childlike faith that you're around the right people, you just don't care, and you keep moving forward. And so I barely graduated high school. Out of 522 kids, I was 502. I beat 20 people. My mother says there's no way those numbers are correct. She's not happy about that. And I said, why, Mom? And she said, there's no way on God's green earth you beat 20 people. I'm like, I don't know. Somehow I did. I don't know if they GED'd out. I don't know what happened, but somehow I was victorious and I beat 20 people. I tell you that because there's nothing special about me other than when I find something great, I go into it with a crazy childlike faith that it's going to work. Like you can't talk me out of it. There's nothing you can say. I'm I've been building businesses for a while, and I talk to the person that's part of the business, and they'll say, my spouse doesn't believe what I'm doing. Can you talk to her? Can you talk to him? And I'm like, no. Here's why. You don't believe it, therefore they don't believe it. One of the most popular questions people have asked my wife over the past 20 years is, when y'all's cars were being repossessed, when y'all had no food to feed the children, when you got, when the house was foreclosed on, like, what were you thinking? How are you still following this fool? And she always told him he knew he was going to make it. It didn't matter the circumstances that I was in, how bad it was, how horrible it was. I just believed with everything inside of me that I was going to be crazy successful. And I have that belief here with We Partners in eXp. Okay, enough about me. I just want you to know, whatever your background is, I'm telling you, that's not the deciding factor. The deciding factor is right here in your heart. That's the deciding factor right there. Okay, so gas is 50 cents, and I'm telling everybody about it. I met this incredible man by the name of Colin. He introduced me to Calvin and Daniel. And Calvin and Daniel were telling me about the opportunity, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And what I've been told over and over and over is that Glenn Sanford, the president of eXp, he turned this industry upside down. I mean, he flipped it upside down. Because in this industry, the brokers, they the boss. They control everything. And I've shopped, I've looked around, I've been to national conventions of other companies that I didn't join. That's how much shopping I did. Like I looked into these other organizations, and the brokers, they're the boss. They rule everything. Now, I ain't saying all brokers are bad. Not saying that. But what I will say is this: to become a broker, you just need to be in the business 4 years, pass the test, and move on. And now you're a broker, and you think you're a leader. And I'm sorry, a designation behind your name will never make you a leader. The designation's important. Don't get me wrong, but the designation doesn't do the job. Yeah, I get a lot of people say, "I'm a realtor now," and I'm proud of you. Don't take this any other way. But that designation behind your name, it does nothing for you. I'm sorry. What does everything for you is right here. That's what will do everything for you. So Glenn's like, hey, it's upside down. This doesn't work. The agents, you and I, or as Daniel likes to call us, the partners, we are the ones, we're putting up all the money, we're putting everything in, we're going all in with everything, right? And we're making the smallest cut. The franchise owner's making a bunch of money, the broker's making a bunch of money, and what's left over, boom, the agents get. And Glenn said, nope, we're not going to do it this way. So, like I said, I shopped. I looked at some other organizations. And the way it works is you hang your license with a broker. So I was going to build my little North Texas area, the Dallas Fort Worth area and in the surrounding areas. I was going to be able to be an agent and build in this area. And that was it, because I didn't have a broker over here or a broker over there. I didn't have it. And every other opportunity I looked. Well, when I met Daniel, Daniel says, listen, Glenn has employed the brokers. The brokers now work for us. Now we respect them. They're great. They're awesome. We need them. No doubt about it. But they're employees of eXp. So now I can build wherever I want to because I have a broker in all 50 states and multiple brokers in each state and in 24 countries. And we're going to 80. Okay. So he flipped it upside down, said the agents are doing all the work. They're putting all their money in. They're the ones that need to be getting the biggest cut. This will become an agency owned organization where the agents own the organization. I'm like, hallelujah. I like to say that Glenn didn't flip it upside down. I think he put it right side up. I think he fixed it. And I hope some other organizations are looking at this, because I'm telling you, there's some brokers that think they're leaders and they're not. Okay, let me help you. Have you ever met a doctor that was god awful horrible, but then you met a doctor that was great? Well, guess what? They're both doctors. You feeling me now? I mean, have you ever met a lawyer that was just horrible and then one that was great? They both passed the bar. See, it's not the designation. And Glenn got that. Glenn goes, it's the agents. It's the ones out there putting all their money and saying, hey, let's do this thing. Let's build empires together. Let's be world changers together. You and I. I think he fixed it. So, all right. Before I jump into the money, I got to say this one more time. It's your childlike faith that will determine how far you go. I have a childlike faith that my marriage will work, and it's worked. I have a childlike faith that when I strap on my shoes to run a marathon, I'll run a marathon, and it's worked. I've ran several. I have a childlike faith when I meet friends that we're going to be great friends. I assume great things. I need you to do the same in your life. When I walk into a room full of strangers, I assume that the people in the room that I don't know are going to like me. Not in the egotistical way, like everybody likes me. I'm just a great guy. Not that bullcrap. I'm talking, I just assume they're friendly. I don't assume they're evil. I don't assume they're bad. I just assume that that they're just, and guess what? Life is so much better that way. Well, Paul, I walked into a room and there were some jerks. I know I do too. But when I assume that the majority of them are going to be great and I'm going to build great relationships, great friendships, then guess what? I get to ignore the bad. Do that with everything inside of you. Okay. All right. So with EXP, we have uh, we have no royalty fees. Okay. No desk fees. You're not paying to have a desk in someone's office, and you're not paying the royalty fees. You don't have any of that stuff. You don't have a franchise fee. Karen and I were about to join a business where we were about to put a bunch of money down for a franchise, and we were putting like $25,000 down. And then Daniel says you can join EXP for $149 a month. Now, after I was done, passed out, and picked myself back off of the ground, I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, $149 a month." I passed out again. I'm kidding, but no, okay, 149. I'm not. Oh, whoa, I messed up. Not 149 a month. 149 to join. 149 to join. Right? It's $89 a month. $89 a month to get KV Core. It's a lead generation machine. I mean, you want to stay busy, you get KV Core for free. KV Core is part, I mean, every real estate agent that's worth anything has KV Core, and you get to have that. Okay. So you get that. You get Regis. Regis is the largest office space place in America. There's a Regis right by you, I promise. And you get to go set up shop there if you want to, meet customers, do whatever you want to do. We have Workplace, where we get to associate and be with other agents. We get to get on. I mean, check it out. Let's say you're brand new and you've never done real estate before. Well, you know what? Even if you've done real estate before, but you've not been a top producer, okay? You go into Workplace and you just look at the top producer, send them a message and say, "Hey, can I ask you a few questions?" And they openly say, "Yes. What would you like to know?" "Well, being a top producer, can you tell me what your day looks like? Being a top producer, can you tell me what you do? Being a top producer, da, 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 right?" It's like, and guess what? This is what I know about top producers. I've been hanging around for 20 years. They love to talk about themselves. Just ask them a question about how they did it, how they got there, and they will tell you. Okay. So you got that. Then we have the best, I mean, world class mentorship training ever. No one comes close to this. Remember, I've shopped. I looked around. I'd been to other national conventions for 3 days and sat out in the audience like this, going, "This is fun." I mean, one of them I almost gave $25,000 to. I'm telling you, I've shopped, I've looked. There wasn't this type of mentorship program. This is how the mentorship program works. Everybody, all 90,000 agents, okay, in our organization, somehow, some way, you're going to connect with a mentor. They're not going to be just part of our group, our team, our little, no, it's the entire EXP model. Now, the other organizations that I went and looked at and checked out, guess what? It's that little area, it's that building, it's that brick and mortar building, and it's the people in there. And then you got to schedule a time for the classroom. You got to schedule, "Hey, can you train me tomorrow? Hey, it's kind of busy." I mean, because right now we're in Thanksgiving, the Christmas, we're in everything, right? It's kind of busy. Maybe we can do after the new year. And you got to wait. You don't have to wait here. We have 40 to 60 hours a week. You ready for this? Of live training. Live. Like, you get to go into an auditorium in the world, is what we call it, because we're a cloud-based company. Now, we're a cloud-based company, but you and I are not cloud-based. We are out there sitting with our customers, meeting with our customers. Thank God. I love that. Okay. But we're a cloud-based company in that you can train from your house, from wherever your office. It's all cloud based and it's live training. Then on top of that, we got the mentorship program where someone's going to be assigned to you to get you up to speed and they get financially rewarded for it. So they have a vested interest in you doing very well. Unheard of. What does the mentorship program look like for you? I don't know. What I have noticed of all my agents that have been signed a mentor, everyone's a little different. One of my mentors goes to church with her mentor. I mean, how cool is that? They do signings together. They do open houses together. They do everything. It's like, yes, the mentor that I have, I absolutely love. Fits my schedule perfect. I can pick up the phone, talk to her anytime I want, ask her any question. It works for me. Oh, here's another one. If you get assigned a mentor that maybe y'all don't hit it off perfectly, we can assign you another mentor. Don't worry. We're going to train you. You're going to be prepared. You're going to be ready. Now, if you're an existing agent, here's where it gets really good for you. You can be part of the mentor training, the program, I should say, where you're a mentor and you get financially rewarded for that. You got a revenue stream coming in from all the new people that we're bringing in. We have 90,000 agents right now. We're going to get to 1 million. I'm going to be part of that. I have a childlike faith that I'll be a big part of that. I pray that you'll have a childlike faith that you'll be part of that. All right. So let's get into money. Like I said, I'm going to assume that you're going to be a top producer. Just what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume that you're coming on board here to be at the top because that's just who you are. Okay. And when you're at the top, we got this thing where we call you get to cap out. You start off in at 80%. And then once you get to a certain point, I'm going to show you exactly what that is right here on the screen. You'll go to 100%. Okay. So this is how it works. We're just going to use an average home of $500,000. Okay. If you want to call me and let me know yours is 520, great. Do the math yourself. I'm going to keep things simple. Remember, I barely graduated high school. 500,000, 3% of 500, because you're either the buyer's agent or you're the seller's agent, you're going to get 3%. Okay. So 3% of 500,000 is $15,000. Okay. You start off at 80%. Okay. So 80% of the 15,000 is $12,000. That's what this number is right down here at the bottom. Okay. 12,000. Where does the $3,000 go? Well, it goes to eXp to pay for all those brokers that you and I get to use that we don't got to pay for. You and I don't have to give them a cut every single deal we do, right? There no royalty fees, no desk fees. So Glenn pays them. Glenn takes care of them, pays their health insurance, pays all their stuff. W-2 employees, okay? And then so half of the 3,000 goes to that. The other half goes to our revenue share. And this is where it gets gooder, okay? So 3,000. So here's how you cap out. Here's how you move to 100%. If you sell a home for $500,000, if you sell 5.33333 of those homes, which you can't sell a third of a home, but just do the math with me. So each time you do, you put $3,000 in the pocket in the to go to cap out to get 16,000. Okay. So 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, that's 15,000. And this is your third 1,000. Okay. So now you've put $16,000 into the revenue share and into paying the brokers and all that stuff. Now you're done for the year. You're at 100% now. So we can get rid of all that other math, which I hate math, which I love, and say, now you get paid 15,000. We're going to simplify things. You're now at 15,000. Done in the story. Okay. You cap out. Now, I'm telling you, I've looked at other organizations. I've seen 70/30s, and you're on a 70/30 for as long as they decide. Here, everything's computerized. So this is crazy. Your year is your year, not my year, not January to December. Your year. So if you start in February, your year runs February to January. If you start in March, you get what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. So it's when you start. That is your year. The other organizations I were joining, they would have it was up on a board. Okay, this is all done for us. When you go into all of our back office stuff, it's going to floor you what we've set, what Glenn has set up. It's amazing. Okay, so once you cap out, now you're at 100%, right? So great, right? Well, I want to talk about revenue share. Oh, wait. I got to stop. I got to hold off. If you get 20 more transactions, you get that $16,000 back in company stock. I want you to think about that for a second, okay? I'm a business owner. I've built businesses. I've hired accounts receivable people. I've hired accounts payable people. I've hired. I ain't got to hire nobody. Hear me. I mean, I might hire an office manager. I might hire an assistant here or there. But man, I got to talk about no payroll type people. I need you to think about what you have your hands on. Like, I mean, if you're going to go build a business on your own, I had a friend that just became a broker and she just posted it today. I can't wait to talk to her. And she's so excited. She has no idea what she's getting herself into, the amount of work she will do. She's got to hire someone to answer the phones. You know, she gets big enough, she'll have to hold hire quality control. Nowadays, you ready? You got to hire people to make sure that no one gets into your software system and hacks you. That's big bucks. You and I, as owners, don't have to do that. We're putting the money in the kittle for Glenn to take care of all that stuff for us. $1,500 each time of that 3,000. Boom, boom. You take care of it, Glenn. We get to go work. We ain't got to think about all that stuff. Because not only, well, I'll hire him. It's okay. Well, guess what? Someone gonna be bad. You got to fire him. Oh, and then one's gonna sue you. And then you got to get an HR person. You feeling me? I've done this before. I've built a business from scratch before and had to hire all those people. It's a nightmare. Glenn's done it for us. And all you got to do is 5.333 transactions. And he's moving you. He's saying, hey, thanks for the money. I'm moving you to 100%. And then he says, if you do 20 more transactions, are you ready? I'm going to give it all to you back in company stock. And you get to be a top producer with this organization. You're going to be the guy or girl in workplace. Everybody say, hey, how'd you do it? What'd you do? I pray you say I had a childlike faith I could do it. I've had my fair share of glass trophies. I got to tell you, they're hard to throw away. That's all I got to say. I mean, you get this glass trophy, you're excited. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing. I'm probably going to give you a glass trophy one day. Don't go mad at me. But seriously, there's only so much room you can have for these things. And every so often, I mean, I've had them for everywhere. I got to throw this thing away. You know, I got to throw this one away. Got to make room for the new glass trophy. Glenn gives you, I mean, 16,000 back in stock. Think about that. And I want to tell you more, but I don't have time. So let's talk about you being a world changer. Okay. Let's talk about you saying, hey, I don't want to be self-employed the rest of my life. I'm going to build a business because I get to build a business at a discount because Glenn's doing all the work for me. He's hired all the people. He's hired the accounts payable. He's hired the accounts. He's hired everybody to pay everybody. We got KV Core. We got Regis. We got places to go for offices. We got it all. Leads galore. We're okay. So I want to build a business. And let me fix your mind on building a business. I've already said it at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. If gas were 50 cents, wouldn't you tell everybody? That's all you're doing here is you're telling everybody. That's all I'm doing. It's not for everybody. It's not an $8 an hour job. You make big bucks. You make a lot of money. Okay. You make a lot of money being a top producer, and you make a lot of money building a team. So here's how it works. This is a 2-year business plan. Okay. Not going to get crazy here. This is 2-year business plan. Now, when someone tells me 2-year business plan, I'm like, rock on. I'm going to do it in a year. That's just who I am. Okay. But I work hard. I work like crazy to get there. So 2-year business plan. I'm going to say you're going to hire 10 people. So that's all these little circles here. There's 10 circles right there. Okay. You're going to hire 10 people. Each of those people, I'm going to assume you're going to hire the top, the best of the best. And they're going to cap out. Every one of these 10 will cap out. They'll sell 5 homes. Come on. I mean, that's not even one a month, right? Think about it. we're gonna find people, and that's the thing. You're gonna find people. You ain't gonna make people. You're gonna find people, okay? And then you're gonna help them go to the next level of life. That's it. So you're gonna find 10, and they're all gonna cap out. Well, each time they cap out, not each time they cap out, but when they cap out, the max you're gonna earn off each person is $2,800. Okay. So you're going to earn 2,800 here, 2,800 here, 2,800 here, blah, 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 all the way down. 10 times 2,800 is 28,000. You're going to earn $28,000 on your front line. This is your front line. Your front line. Are you ready? They're not all trained by you. They're trained by mentors in the markets they belong to. I tell you that because I'm not going to get to 10. I'm going to get to 100. You with me? But right now, I'm just going to show you 10. I mean, if you stop at 10, stop at 10. You're going to make a lot of money, but I'd keep going if I was you, right? So here's your 10. Now, let's say each of the 10 that you've hired also brings in 10. It's pretty simple. I mean, I don't got time to build. What do you mean you got time to build? You ain't got to train nobody. Can you be positive? Can you use your tongue to uplift people and make people feel like they're in a better place in their life? Can you do that? That's all you got to do. No kidding. Because we got the mentorship, the training program in place. We got a world-class training program. We're on a championship team with Daniel and Calvin and Colin. We're on a championship team already, right? All you got to do is tell them the gas is 50 cents. And then they're going to tell people gas is 50 cents. And look at that. They all have 10. So if they all have 10, everybody caps out from that scenario. Tier 2, this freaked me out. Like the first time that Daniel was showing this to me, I assumed that tier 2 would be less than $2,400. I figured it'd be like, maybe half, right? Like maybe $1,400, right? Well, I love Glenn's math. I'm not going to question him. That dude's way smarter than I am. His math is 3,400 for your second line. Okay. So that second line there, tier 2, you get $340,000 for each of these folks capping out. That's a total yearly income of just passive income, not the houses you're selling, not what you're doing, $368,000. Now, here's reality. Of the 10 you hire, 4 of them will bring in the majority of the 100. Okay. Like these first 4 are going to bring in the majority. They'll bring in the most people, no doubt, hands down. Now, I've had people say to me, well, then shouldn't I just hire 4 super good ones? No, you can't beat the numbers and the numbers can't beat you. Okay. You can't beat the numbers. Get 10 because you don't know which 4 it's going to be. They will surprise you. They will freak you out. You have no idea which 4 it's going to be. But I'm telling you, it's going to be 4. They're going to bring in the majority of the business. It's just the way it works. But you can't beat the numbers and the numbers can't beat you. But I'm telling you, if you try to, you're going to lose. Just bring them all in. Let me tell you something. I've built businesses before. I've built infrastructure from the ground up. It's not easy. You don't have to do that here. You just have to say, hey, yo, I got this program, no royalty fees, no desk fees. We're a cloud-based company. If you got someone that, you want to do a referral with in Sacramento, California, you're okay. You can still get a percentage of that, even though you're not there. We'll have another eXp agent do it for you and you can do a share on that. Whereas before you said, here, take care of this and you're done. With us, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't matter where you are. That's all you're doing is just sharing the opportunity with people. That's it. You're not forcing them. You're not selling them on how great everything's going to be. You're just saying, hey, this is what we have. This is who we are. All right. So stop sharing, Paul. Boom. All right. I have joined a championship team. I know what it's like to join a championship team. And I've joined a championship team at the right time. I'm at the right place at the right time with the right people. Daniel's so humble. He's an incredible man. He wants me to win. He wants my family to win. He's already met my daughter. He's already met my wife. He wants me to win. And when you have a championship caliber coach like that, you can lay it all on the line. Daniel's very successful. He doesn't go around bragging about it and telling everybody how successful he is. He's just successful. And he wants to share and he wants to help. Every time I'm with him, he's teaching me on how to be a better networker. I thought I was pretty good till I met him. And he's teaching me every step of the way. Hey, man, hey, call this guy and just do this. Call this guy and just do that. Call this guy and just do this. I'm on a championship team with people that want to win. You have an opportunity to be creative here. I worked for I've been on teams that weren't championship teams where if you won, it was because only one person did. Daniel doesn't care who gets the credit. Daniel wants your creative side. He wants you to come in here and bring everything of your creativity and just wrap it up in a big old ball and say, here's the energy that I'm bringing to the table. And he's like, thank you. We need some more energy. Put the energy in the middle of the table. We need more energy. We need you. We need your ideas. We need your enthusiasm. We need your excitement. We need you to help us get this thing to 1 million agents, to get this thing in 80 countries. I went to Cayman Islands about a month ago. I told Dana I'm going to Cayman he goes, hey, do me a favor, go talk to local real estate agents there and let's figure out how we can get into that market. No kidding. That's how this thing is coming together. That's how this thing is working. You get to play a major role in this. We are the disruptor of the entire industry is looking at us like, what are y'all doing? There's so much more I want to share with you with the growth that we had during the virus. There's so much I want to share with you with the growth we had when we first got started in 2008, 2009, when the market was flipped upside down, messed up, jacked up. Okay. Now people say to me, aren't you getting in the market at a bad time? No, we're getting in the market at a perfect time. This coming spring is going to explode. And we're getting in the market at a perfect time because there's a lot of lazy people that made a good amount of money during 2020, during 21, when everybody was like buying homes, not even looking at sight unseen buying homes. Well, no, they're not doing that no more. We got to work. And you got all these people that have dropped out because they couldn't take that word work. They asked Tom Watson once. He won five, I think it was 5 British Opens. And they asked him, like, no one's done that before. How'd you do that? He said, I prayed for rain. And the person interviewed him just kind of laughed, like, what? He goes, yeah, I prayed for rain. And the interviewer says, what do you mean you prayed for rain? He goes, well, on a good day, I'm competing with about 100 people. When it rains, I've got to beat 5. Oh, I hope you let that sink in. He had only 5 people to beat. That was the mindset that he had. I've only got 5 people to beat because every fool got out of the market. In April or spring of this coming year, it's going to get crazy. It's going to be off the charts. I'm going to cap out. I'm going to cap out to inspire others to cap out. At the same time I'm capping out, I'm going to keep bringing people in. I'm going to keep telling everybody that gas is 50 cents, that I found it. I found the mother lode. I found the gold. We've been digging and digging and digging. I found the X. I found it all. It's right here. I'm going to be telling everybody. And each time I'm going to keep bringing more and more people in and more and more and more and more. And they're going to bring more. And I'm going to cap out and we're going to run with this thing. I'm playing for a championship team. I'm playing with a owner that wants to win the championship, wants to win big. He doesn't care who gets the credit. That's the team I'm playing for. I got a lot more to tell you. I don't know you because I'm looking at a camera right now. Please message me, get with the person that invited you and say, hey, I'd like to learn a little bit more, or hey, not for me. Doesn't matter. I want to talk to you and tell you so much more that we offer because it would take days to sit down and tell you everything. Go get yours. I'm getting mine. Adios.